coalition have been registered for the last 6 months, but we have been in existence for the last 11 years. There's a board member, 4 board members. Everybody is actually trans persons who are active workers in the community, because what we have discovered is that the transgender community, HIV is not really our main, first and foremost problem that we have. We have a lot of psychosocial issues that we really have to work on, and the gender identity laws is another thing that we need to also try to accomplish, and visibility. These are issues that we, not only in Trinidad and Tobago, but the English-speaking Caribbean, and collaborating with the Red Lat Trans from the Latin American countries, we have seen ways in which we could overcome some of the issues, because trans persons who are not only HIV positive undergo psychosocial issues and deals with depression, and deals with being ostracized, low self-esteem, education problem. These are some of the things that actually we bring to the table, and what we find that what is happening is that all our international donors comes with HIV and testing and stuff that deals with test and treat and to be undetectable. How do I tell my community test and treat to become undetectable when there's no, they don't even have a breakfast or a dinner to take most days? Some are homeless, drug use, violence, rape. The support mechanism is not in place in terms of dealing with the reporting faculty when you're being abused or raped or even threatened or even murdered. No, there's nothing in place in terms of dealing with these issues. So I bring some of the information in support of what the community is being faced with, and let's see how we could work together in terms of sensitization for the press and what is actually some of the issues that the community really faces.
Brandy, can I ask a question? Can you explain what it means to be transgender?
Okay. Transgendering is not what the general society thinks. Transgendering is someone who has born in a certain way and do certain things and feel a certain way. A child that is born male who feels like a woman, who acts like a woman, who believe in their mind that they are a woman, and who knows, well, hear this, I am woman. These are transgendering. And what we have, they are the trans trending. Those are the persons who just dress up, that the society thinks are trans women, who just dressed up for the purpose of dressing up, who could be flamboyant and go on the beach and create, this kind of observation and this kind of popularity, and go on these Facebook Live. They use the social media to act, to their best benefit, which is not really what transgendering is all about. Trans person goes through a history of humiliation and, a history of trying to deal with who they are and understand their own sexuality, and to work with society and family, and to work with the churches, and to work with school, and to go through all of these things at a very young age. They don't understand the first thing about transgendering. They think, well, some families will think, they will go through as a phase, or the church would say it's a spiritual thing. Families will say whatever, yes. There is no real genuine understanding of what trans persons actually face. I think for me it has been one of the things that I always share. I do my thing, and I live with, I'm comfortable with who I am, and I've been this way as long as I could remember, and I don't want to make this be, a thing that persons, transgendering is not what you see on Facebook and, on all these things. Transgendering starts in the heart and what is going on in the person's mind, and that's what it confuses you at what you see in the mirror. It's not the same thing, and most persons doesn't have the skills to deal with what is going on, and some persons doesn't understand what is really happening, and general society thinks that, well, they're mad, or they need some kind of psychiatric help or some kind of evaluation. These are some of the reports that we get back from what happens with persons who have been living as transgender women.
Or men.
Or men. Or men.
Or men.
I just want to, I kind of feel strongly about this. I want to say, I just want to put the idea that there's a science behind it. Scientists support the idea of a person being transgender. And the reason why I want to say that is because a lot of people say stupid things like, well, if I feel like a cat, then I'm a cat. Stuff like that. I just want the idea to be reinforced that there is a science behind it. Scientists are doing research and they're finding that there's an actual reason why people feel, a scientific reason why people feel this way, and it's not just it's not a whim.
No.
I think a lot of people kind of think it's a whim. I just want to reinforce that it is not a whim.
It's not, definitely not. Transgendering actually starts with how the persons feel in their heart and their mind, and they try to bring what they feel in their heart and their mind to the body, to form the body. There's no support for HRTs, which is hormonal replacement therapies in this country. If you don't have the money to go and buy it here, which costs actually $200 a month, you could self-medicate, which we don't know what happens with the person who have been self-medicating. There are different side effects, none is the same, and which is very cheap. Take regular birth control and poison yourself if you wish. That's all up to you. But this is what we've been faced with, and we have our community of trans persons is really large in this country. Just most persons doesn't identify, publicly, but they identify in their mind, and they identify in their body language, and they identify in different ways because of the stigma and discrimination that is attached to trans and to transgender persons. I think if the truth is being said and the information is out there, I think we will see more, and we get more support in terms of understanding from family, from friends, from society in general. We would find that most persons would be would really want to come out and say who they really are, but based on the issues and what they've been faced with, you find persons not really interested in coming out because it comes with a lot of issues behind. The stigma and the discrimination is a lot, and then there's no employment, so you might have to turn to sex work. Most of the times, if you come from a supportive family, you still won't be able to get a job, and these are the issues that you really face with. I was fortunate for the family planning to understand my need and how I could bring my community. Since 2006, I've been attached to family planning, and that's just me, but my community has really understand what the association is trying to do and how important healthcare is for the community. One of the things that is really hard is acceptance, and it only starts with you first. You have to be comfortable with who you are and want to work with who you are and believe this is what is happening to you and work to the best of your ability. There would be challenges. I'm not saying it's going to be easy. There's going to be a whole heap of challenges because, as I said, the stigma and discrimination that is attached to transitioning is not normal. It is something that you and I could understand. I know where I come from, but you would not be able to understand what the barriers are, what some of the challenges are. I think what your friend is actually, you see, if the acceptance is there,
But the acceptance isn't.
no. You see, if the acceptance is there, they will go the step further, because that is not trans-trending.
Right.
When you see the performances and the drag queens, those are trans-trending women.
Right.
Because they only do this because, well, for performance's sake, or for sex work, because it's a means to an end, or for the pageants, the gender illusion pageants that we have all around the Caribbean, they would do it for purposes like these. But persons who are transgender, who are transgendering, and who have come from male to female transgender, who has do the transition, they don't really have that view in their mind as a transgending person. They live and they feel and act and would like to be respected as women. And this is what the general fight is all about, because at the end of the day they're going to make a mistake and still say he. It's not about him. It's always about her. And because our documentation and when I travel like who I am now, but my documentation would always reflect of
Who you were born as.
how I was born. And it would raise a lot of issues. Thank God that I travel a lot, so nearly every airport nearly know me by now. So they say, come ma'am, come miss.
Yes.
This line miss. So it becomes easy, but for persons who are not,
Right.
they will always have you join the male line.